And 2022 brought more advances in equal rights for the LGBTQ+ community, most notably with the marriage equality law. But at the same time, acts of opposition are increasing. Reporter Michelle London looked into the different ways the community is being targeted and their response.
Welcome to Drag Queen Story Hour.
Since Drag Story Hour first launched back in 2015 in San Francisco, the events have faced criticism, but it hasn't slowed growth. Today, drag performers are reading to children in libraries, schools, businesses, and public places in all 50 states and internationally. That's according to the nonprofit.
It's okay to be a unicorn.
But this year, controversy escalated, with right-wing and hate groups, armed protesters, and some peaceful demonstrators showing up at drag events all over the U.S. and Canada. A few venues canceled Story Hour, citing safety concerns over threatening messages and detailed plans of disruptions. Arrests were made recently related to vandalism at a New York City Council member's home who openly supported an event.
Since the insurrection, things have really ramped up to a point where it's been beyond First Amendment rights and has turned into stormings and hate crimes and just blatant homophobia and transphobia.
The executive director of Drag Story Hour says they've had to rework safety protocols and collaborated with the Anti-Violence Project to come up with new contingency plans in case the event attendees feel unsafe. LGBTQ advocacy organization GLAAD has been tracking media reports of anti-drag incidents. They found more than 140 in 47 states. Most were during Pride celebrations in June, but have branched out to drag story times over the last 6 months.
The world is changing, and I think that is disrupting folks who want to keep marginalized folks marginalized.
GLAAD's president and CEO says social media is allowing anti-LGBTQ groups to better organize. Some conservative politicians are also stepping in, introducing bills in at least 6 states aimed at stopping public drag performances or keeping them away from kids.
It is illegal to take your child to a strip club, and yet we're going to allow a drag show that has blatantly explicit sexual activity taking place in a public park where kids are present.
This followed hundreds of other anti-LGBTQ bills and pushes to ban books addressing diversity.
They feel like people who share values of openness, of tolerance, of acceptance, of joy are taking over, and for some reason they're worried about that.
Then in November came the massacre at Club Q that killed 5 people, a gay club where people said they once felt safe. Now the accused shooter is facing hate crime charges. After the mass shooting, the Department of Homeland Security issued a bulletin mentioning the LGBTQ community was a target of heightened domestic terrorist threats.
Then we will hear from Ms. Olivia Hunt.
And in December, Congress heard testimony from scholars about damage these sort of attacks and discrimination can cause.
Studies have concluded that minority stress experienced by LGBTQ people can result in an array of mental health problems, including depressive symptoms, substance use, and suicide ideation and attempt.
But for a community that's always dealt with bullying and exclusion, they encourage people to educate themselves and not be influenced by the actions of a few.
And our love and support for our program outweighs all the hate that you see.
I'm Michelle London reporting.